Hey everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and if I look a little red in the face, I just got done cleaning up. So today I'm going to be talking about two topics that I've been having in my head for quite some time, and also due to other videos posting this, and also, long story short, the writing's on the wall. And I'll get to that topic here in a bit, but the first topic I want to talk about is whether, some people believe that Gen 5 should have stayed away from Gen 4. Some people don't think it should have, but some people do believe it was like a good continuation. I'm going to say this: Gen 5 deserved a chance, and it could have been saved. It could have been saved. The key to its salvation pretty much showed up at the end of the last special, which was called The Greatest Gift, where, lo and behold, spoilers, if you have not seen that leaked special, I'll give you 5 seconds to get out, watch the special, and come back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers: Twilight Sparkle is revealed to be alive, and she was in the Wishing Star. So technically, in Make Your Mark, in Winter Wish Day, she technically was in the star. We just didn't see her in the way we know. And, the key to getting all the answers, because that's one thing that is probably going to irk me for a while still. Or until something we get new comes out. All the questions to all the other races, Skyros, the inevitable fate of the rest of the main six, and Celestia, Luna, Cadence, Florihart, who probably are in Skyros, I'm going to guess. Because if Twilight's alive, then I'm going to guess they're alive too, just in Skyros. Why would Twilight be in the star? There's been a lot of theories and speculations why she was, but no pun intended. I know this is going to be a pun, and I'm sorry, but all the answers to the questions to everything that happened between the end of Gen 4 and the beginning of Gen 5 would have come straight from the horse's mouth. Twilight Sparkle. I know it's a pun, but it's the truth. As silly as it is, it's the truth. She could have probably saved Gen 5, because then more lore would have been revealed. We would have gotten probably more of the creatures, because if the budget, if we got the second season, because there was going to be a second season of Make Your Mark, with Gen 4, the animation slowly progressed to getting better and better, and, to be honest, more unique. And that probably would have happened with Gen 5. That probably would have happened if it continued and wasn't canceled. It would have probably gotten more better with the animation, more better in the facial expressions, body movement, emotions, and the story and the lore, and probably we would have gotten the answers to our questions and the inevitable journey to Skyros. But didn't happen. I'm just going to say, if Hasbro gave Gen 5 a little bit more time, let's just say they said, hey, let's do the rest of Season 2, see how it does, especially with the big reveal in the final special, and let's see how the ratings are, let's see how the toy sales are, and let's see how it goes. And probably, with the leaked animatics that have come out, I'm going to tell you what right now, Tell Your Tale probably would have beaten Make Your Mark by a long shot, due to the emotion, the storytelling, and the action and the music. I'm going to say that if they gave the Season 2 of Tell Your Tale a little bit more time and just completed everything else, we would have probably gotten a Season 3. We would have that would have probably have been when Twilight Sparkle would have shown up. And that would have been such an interesting dynamic, because it would have been similar to how Luna was in Luna Eclipsed, where when Luna first comes back reformed and tries to mingle with the ponies and get along, everyone's scared of her, and she talks out of, like, her talking is out of time, like thee, thou, thy, they, you know, and she learns to talk like a normal, like a modern day pony. But I'm not saying it would have been to that extent with Twilight. I think, honestly, Twilight could have been a lot more emotional. Like, I'm not saying she would have regressed as a character mentally. I think she would be in a bit of a slum. She would be depressed, miserable, knowing all her friends gone, pretty much everything that they built and worked so hard to accomplish was destroyed by one. And that's honestly all it takes is one. All it takes is one domino to start knocking down at all the others and cause a chain reaction. But, yeah, and also, this would have been an interesting topic to touch upon. So far, the only ones in the new generation knew of Twilight and her friends and what they were doing was Argyle, Sunny's mom, Nova, and, of course, Sunny's Star Scout. And then Zip and everyone else found out about it. I wonder how Twilight Sparkle would feel that a lot of the ponies kind of forgot what her and her friends did. And just thought, those are just bedtime stories. There's no, truth to that, I really would have found it interesting to find out how Twilight would have responded to seeing ponies that they kind of forgot. They kind of started to doubt those stories and thought they were just myths and legends. And also, Twilight's personality, I could see, like I said, being very depressed. I'm not saying she could be... Sorry about that. My cat's trying to jump on the couch. Oh, if you want to meet him, here he is. It's Vito. 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 Look at the camera. Yeah, there he is. That's Vito, just really quick. Twilight Sparkle, realizing that a lot of ponies have forgotten what she and her friends did, I really think would bother her. Am I saying she'd be like a curmudgeon, a grouch? Maybe a pinch, not a curmudgeon, but maybe a bit of a grouch and maybe a little distant. Because maybe when she looks at Sunny and her friends, she's reminded a lot of her and her friends. But then things happen that lead to Twilight rediscovering herself and rediscovering the magic of friendship and becoming a teacher to Sunny and her friends. I also would think she'd be like the badass teacher. Like, the wise master who's like, I don't prefer fighting, but like when he has to, like in those old martial art movies. Like they don't like fight, but when it does call for fighting, they really know how to kick butt. That would be pretty cool if she was kind of like those kind of masters or teachers to the ponies. Like whenever they couldn't overcome something, she would come in like, hey, let me show you how it's done. But yeah, I personally believe Twilight could have saved Gen 5. Am I saying now to think about it, we would have probably gotten all the characters that are still alive. Celestia, Luna, Cadence, Flurry Heart probably. We would have probably gotten all of them. Now, would Opaline return? I don't know. We don't know exactly what transpired between Celestia, Luna, and Opaline. And her big gripe with Twilight. Like, I think there's a lot that is unexplained with Opaline's history. And that could have been, talked about. And also, if she did return, would she come back with revenge? Well, probably she would come back for revenge. But would she get redeemed or would she be silenced? We don't know. But, and also, Opaline's a terrible liar. You can't really believe everything she says, like with the whole, like, as her flashback where she met Celestia and Luna when they were young in Skyros, she waved at them and they all went like, and she got all mad and angry. Celestia and Luna were kids. Even if they did do that, Opaline should not have taken it to heart. But I should reiterate, kids do take things to heart sometimes. Some kids are more emotional than others. But Opaline cannot be trusted with what she says, so I believe there's more to her reason for hating them and hating Twilight. There's got to be more to it. And we could have possibly gotten some more about it. We would probably have seen Discord. I don't know if John Delancey would have returned to voice him, but I could see Discord being a basket case, being an emotional, mental mess. I could see that. I could see him being that way. I could see him being broken, just being... He still has his chaotic powers, but he's just a wreck. Without Fluttershy, without, being alone for so many years, it would take a toll on him. And, but I personally do believe Twilight could have saved Gen 5. Now, do I think the main 6 would show up? That's a bit of a tough one. Because there are only 2 ways that we would be able to see... Well, I should say 3. 3 ways we'd see the rest of the main 6. 1, time travel. 2, flashbacks. And 3, spirits. Ghosts. Ghosts of the main 6. That's the only way I could see them bringing them back. Or they could have done the whole limbo thing like the Pillars of Equestria did. Then they would be like non-aging and they'd still be alive. But I don't even know if Twilight would do that. I don't know. But yeah, I really think Twilight could have saved Gen 5. If they just finished Season 2, heck, they could have finished Season 2, and maybe they took a small hiatus just to upgrade the animation, increase the budget and everything, and get more equipment and more voice actors. I think they could have gone back to make season 3 of Tell Your Tale. It would have been really good. Heck, they could have made a movie if they kept on going. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about that. But the big one here is, due to nostalgia and also theories of the next generation being a Gen 4 reboot, and let's take into fact that that was originally what Gen 5 was going to be, was a reboot of Gen 4, and also now that Gen 5 comics are being reissued, and also Boom Studios is doing another, I'm guessing they're doing new comics revolved around Friendship is Magic, and yeah, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think Gen 4 is going away anytime too soon. Hasbro has realized and has known this for so long that they are on a gold mine and they're not going to let it go. Also nostalgia, also money, and look how they're doing in China. Look how Gen 4 is doing in China. China's eating good. I gotta admit, when are we in America going to get something? Like... When are we going to get some, like, throw us a bone here, Hasbro. Yeah, I don't think Gen 4 is going away. And I know people want Gen 4 just to be laid to rest, have the, focus on that happy ending, that heartfelt goodbye we all cried to. But, come on, we're talking about Hasbro here. Hasbro's not going to let Gen 4 go. So, and also, I'm going to just say I bet $5 that the live action My Little Pony movie is going to have the Gen 4 cast. I don't think there's any way, because they know they're not, they're a company. They are not dumb. They know if they want to bring both old, new, and nostalgic people in, they're going to have to bring in a cast of characters that will get the audience's attention. So, I don't think Gen 4 is going away anytime too soon, including the theories that Gen 4, that the next generation of ponies is going to be a G4 reboot. I think it's here to stay, and we just gotta just cope with it and just see what they do. But there is one thing really quick before I end this video, that there is a YouTuber named SugarDawn03 who brought up a backpack. And let's remember really quick, when Gen 5 was first announced, a blanket of Sunny and Izzy was revealed, and everyone was like, oh, that's what the ponies look like? And yeah, then like a little bit while after, the trailer for A New Generation came out, and it was confirmed those were the designs of the ponies. So she found a backpack, and I know you're going to think, what's backpack got to do with this? Well, it has multiple generations of characters, both Gen 4, Gen 5, I think Gen 1, Gen 2, I believe. And let's also take into consideration that they were considering of making a ponyverse. Could Hasbro be touching upon that again, just like changing it a bit? I don't know. Yeah, Sugar Dawn 03 touched upon that, and it is quite interesting. It is quite interesting that she would think that. And this is not the first time that merchandise has been shown. People doubt those are the ponies' designs. And then maybe like a month or so later, a trailer or an image comes out and they're like, oh, that was confirmed. That was legit, the legit designs. So we just gotta wait and see what happens. And hopefully we get some soon. It's already March, and oh my god, March is almost over. Like, this month is going as fast as Speedy Gonzales. But, yeah. That's really all I wanted to talk about today. So until next time, just take care, enjoy the rest of your day. And this is Draco Prime 220, signing off.